Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Danny Sora bringing you another cast from our CastIt. Had a fantastic day. It's been out for a little bit, so I decided to jump back in and give you guys something new. This is a Masters matchup, so to get started here, to begin, in the top left, we have, oh no, camera ran away, Azamato. Domo Arigato Azamato. I guess is what that was modeled off of. Maybe not, but I'm going to say it is anyway. Down here in the bottom right, we have jgjg, which I have no idea what I'm going to say during the cast to try and say jgjg, but that is a lot of syllables. 4 to be precise. So we're here on Akalon Waste, and we have a PvT. And real quick, a couple housekeeping things, if you will. To start off, number one, I tried new buffalo cheddar macaroni and cheese, a craft brand. There's a new flavor, and let me tell you, do not recommend. It is really garbage. I ate the entire box because, well, I didn't want to make anything else for dinner. But let me tell you, it's pretty awful. So if you want to do that, just don't. Just save yourself the trouble. Cute little thing here. Mr. JG over here is pairing up all of his probes. It actually gives you a little bit of a mineral increase. You see in the top left, just a little bit above. He is one harvester up, so that will account for that a little bit, but technically speaking, does jump you up just a little bit if you're looking for something to waste APM on. And also, I'm going to try not to edge scroll because I have my settings very high, and this is a little bit jarring. I'm also testing out some of the new features for the replays, etc. So you guys will just kind of bear with me. It's been a pretty good day thus far. Of course, it's Friday. Got off a little early. It was really a beautiful thing. This is the new follow command. I've got that down. So as far as the vision, he's seeing a good amount. Nothing here of note. He does have the gas. He knows that that's down, so he knows a Reaper will be coming. We throw the production tab so you guys can keep up. Cybernetic score going down pretty standard time. Nothing of any note here. Protoss also has a gas up. We'll most likely see the second one coming pretty soon here. And as I said, this is a matchup between two master level players, so we should see, a good amount of back and forth, hopefully. APM is pretty through the roof. 250 for both players, even in the early part of the game, which is pretty impressive. So hopefully we'll get some cool strategies. We'll have lots of fun stuff to talk about. As our Terran player here pretty much scouts everything, sees the expansion going down. Not a whole lot of good stuff, and Protoss just waiting to see when that expansion is going to go down, and nothing yet. Walling off sort of here with some supply depots, going to go right into the reactor, and there he's going to put the command center in the main, being just a little bit more safe, just in case Mr. JG tries to do something a little bit sneaky. And that Reaper did get in. I missed that. I apologize, but no kills, no real harm done. And he didn't see anything of particular note. So no harm, no foul there. Both these players are pretty much just going to be massing up. Again, early game in these, not a whole lot to talk about, since both players really just going to try to get their economies through the roof. And it looks like this SCV was pathed outside and tried to come back in. And kind of failed a little bit. Probe. This is going to be really nice for JG. I mean, Azamato should chase this away, just so, the Protoss player has a little bit of a guessing game, but none of that will be much of an issue. That SCV will come back, and now he may think that this is some sort of a rush build. I mean, you can sometimes do this to really psych out your opponent in the opposite way. He has truly no idea what's going on. He is getting a robo back at home to try to fly something in. However, if this command center does fly over, then JG will feel very good about his chances. He's going to turn it into the orbital, and it's going to go into a sort of a 1-1-1. Yeah, coming out some Widow Mines here, very standard. It looks like he's going to send that right across, or at least out. Let's see where he ends up going with it. Just going to place it right on the ramp, going to deny any kind of scouting. Great place for it. Those Widow Mines, I always hate seeing people ball those up somewhere. 2 stalkers, that game ain't done. But I hate when people have those unburrowed with your army. Just stick them somewhere and burrow them and hope they get a good hit. Not all of them, obviously. You don't want to waste them all, but something like this can kill a probe, something like that, that maybe you don't get otherwise, kill a stalker, things of that nature. So, Protoss player went right into a forge and is going to get the upgrade started. He will be a little bit ahead. Engineering Bay just now going down for the Terran player. So the Protoss should have a solid lead. It's going to be roughly about 40-45 seconds behind, so almost a full minute, which you can get an engagement in that time. It's going to be very nice, and that is pending any sort of chrono boost action. And we have the observer here. It's going to fly across the map slowly but surely. And here we go. Finally, the probe gets a good look at the full army composition. Hopefully saw lots of Marines there, so that can be very indicative of the gas is going somewhere else. Sometimes I'm not quite sure whether that is just into mass widow mines, but typically speaking, it's going to be into medevacs early on and into starport, which is exactly what's coming down. And actually a tech lab, so we may see Coke Banshees coming out here. It would be very interesting. We'll have to see how the Protoss player handles it. It does already have observers. Those Banshees will be very late. Maybe it's going to be a Raven instead, which I think would be a much better choice. You know, providing some vision, maybe he's worried perhaps about Dark Templar, things of that nature. He's not researching anything, and Azamato, oh, WTF, not quite sure what's going on there. I have no idea, in all actuality. This is why first game is unranked. Not quite sure what's going on. Might have lost a probe. Workers killed. Yeah, it looks like JG might have just lost a probe or ran something in there. That was actually earlier. One other unit was killed, obviously. Oh, and a good Nexus cannon going off. And it's a good bait, but Azamato's going to lose it. He's sitting down here with some decent micro. Good micro pulling that stalker back. Excellent, doing a ton of damage. Really enjoy that. And the Widow Mines. Oh, and the Widow Mines hit. 4 kills, 4 kills, and 4 kills. 12 workers killed. Sorry, I missed those Widow Mine hits. They're going to go off again. And this was a 100% worth it. Oh, and just devastating amounts of damage. Overall, a ton of workers killed, and that is bad news for JG. As look at the income. Azamato takes a huge lead and immediately throws down a third. He's going to build that up, another couple bunkers. He knows that JG is going to have to be all in at this point. That was such a good hit. Basically, there's nothing JG can do from here besides a potential all in. Not going to know what he can really do. So we'll have to see as he's trying to roll out here. He just doesn't have the tech to really do any damage. Finally, he's got these probes here that are all idle. Finally getting around to killing these Widow Mines. And Azamato's going to burrow those. It's going to be very annoying. Going to get that observer over there, and then those stalkers can take them out. Easy peasy, no big deal, but the damage has already been done. Units 44 to 37 in terms of harvester count. That's not a place you want to be as a Protoss. Those 3 mules are going to make a world of difference. Still a little bit upset that I missed that on the mini-map. I was distracted just as JG was. Clearly had no idea that those Widow Mines dropped in. Did the right thing. He actually showed the Marines that he got those in a little early. Sometimes players don't rush their army in. They wait for the drop to kind of go in, then they attack. Really, you want to try to get the front door, get the attention away from their main base, which worked very, very well. And JG has been supply blocked for quite some time. 2 pylons finally finishing up. And I think he's going to look potentially to take a third. He kind of has to at this point, or it's going to be economic stalemate before too long. He's got all of these stalkers positioned here, but they're really not doing anything on the map. That's money that could be spent for a third. However, if our Terran player, excuse me, inhaled a little something there. No big deal. I'm back. We're okay. Azamato, I was going to say, could pretty much crush his army. He just does not have the splash damage that he needs. 2 Colossi now can help. Maybe a third one on the way by the time this attack hits. Could help a lot. We will have to see what's going to go on here. Now this is a little bit sloppy here. You never want these medevacs to get too far away, especially across a chasm. Blink Stalkers would tear this apart. Now this is a Masters player. I'm only a Platinum player. I get it. But just one of those little things that you really want to work on to make sure that, you know, they don't get any medevac snipes off. Here we go. JG knows this is coming. 3 Colossi and is pulling all of those Stalkers. And we'll see what happens. A great concave here. Oh, Colossi gets stuck in the front. Azamato charges in, takes 2 of them down. Will have to a ton of damage. So I think Stalker's going to get the right one. Yes, he does. Tons of damage done there. Units lost tab just got evened up. Azamato knows that he screwed up. A promptly, not promptly, but a correct F-bomb dropped there, accurately describing that situation exactly as it happened. So this is definitely where JG can come back and see supplies and even out. The workers are still heavily in Azamato's favor. He's up by 12 and has 5 mules right now. That's going to make the income pretty far in his favor. Double their gas is even. So JG's going to expand. As a Protoss, you can't afford to be a little bit behind, but I am fearing for him as it may turn out to be more of an economic checkmate. Azamato is a good idea to try to hit those Colossi, but the thing is, when his army was over here, he had to pull into here, and he had Stalkers on the ramp, on the high ground, really kind of went into, he turned his concave into kind of a convex, and really kind of screwed that up a little bit. He got a little too over-aggressive against those Colossi. Would like to see him get some scouting information ahead of time so that he knew that he needed the Vikings. Now he just, as I said, that starts 2 more Vikings. He's got plenty of medevacs, which is good. A couple did get taken out there. He does have a Marauder stuck in that one, which I'm sure we'll notice at some point. But 6 medevacs is a good amount. He's already got 4 Vikings. He's going to have 6 here very shortly. Against 3 Colossi, it's going to be pretty good. As far as the tech for our Protoss player, it does look like, we'll take a look at his tech buildings here. He is getting charged, and there it is. That's what I was looking for. Templar Archives goes down just now. So hopefully those storms will be able to help out. Some feedbacks as well. And now 4 Vikings at a time for Azamato. If I were him, I would definitely try to hit a timing here. He's got a good amount, and he has no idea. He doesn't think there are any sort of... oh, and here, this observer. Is he going to get it? There it is. Oh, it's just there for the taking. There he goes. And that is going to get JG an idea that he is pushing out just a little bit. Kind of lucky there, ran right into a scan. And we'll have to see how this works. There's going to be no high Templar support, getting a couple sentries in, trying to get some decent force fields off. I'm not quite sure if I like this choke point necessarily. We'll have to see how it works out here. It definitely depends on the positioning here. He definitely should try to get something on the high ground so we can maybe blink up there and take out the Vikings. Because the Vikings fly over, which they are going to do, they're going to abuse that high ground. And there's the blink. Excellent work there. And the Colossi are going to support to get some of his army. But does Azamato just have too much? He's got a ton of hit of medevac. Works their way to gold. All these Colossi are a little bit out of fight. Big blink in. There's the blink in. And now it's going to be a tough fight. He does get the Colossus. And this is going to be very even back and forth. And Azamato is going to retreat. Blinks back. Very correct decision there. And we'll see a big warp in. And oh no, this Colossi all by himself. Colossi doing damage. Oh, and he runs into the high ground. And he's going to run it away. And great micro there. Gets that out of there. Just not too much damage. And now he's going to very bad spot. Oh, what about the Blink Stalkers? What can they do? He's going to be able to take these out. He leaves behind the medevacs. Oh, and with another blink, maybe he's able... Oh, and he goes right to the Nexus and loses another medevac. And these Stalkers, will they blink? Looks like they took a little bit of a bad angle, and there's the boost, and he will get out. Now, Azamato did successfully set up this 4th base. There's typically a triangle in StarCraft. You know, if your opponent is going to attack, then you should defend. If your opponent is defending, you should expand. And if your opponent is expanding, you should attack. That's a little bit of the triangle in terms of how things work in StarCraft in general. It's a very good general tip. But, you know, typically if you attack and expand, your opponent has to defend, and then they cannot punish that expansion typically. So I really like getting that 4th base up and running. Tons of mules coming down. And finally, 4th base coming down for our Protoss player. Now, a little bit interesting here. A lot of people are starting to take this 3rd base up here on Akalon. Some players choose down here because of this great choke point. If you can get, say, High Templar, if you go Storm first, this can be just an excellent place for Storms. And here these medevacs are going to come out again and again. Just as I said, they're going to cross this chasm. If there were to be an army moving across here, medevacs could get very torched. Just something you really want to look out for, and definitely a parade push coming across the map here. He's going to scout in. He is going to see that that Nexus is there, freshly up. And Azamato has a maxed out army. Definitely good to see. He's going to see that there's a drop incoming. So take a look at the army and worker supply. Azamato with a big lead in both categories. About 30 more army supply. Yeah, that's Control A, not Control S. And he is going to push in here. It's going to be a two-prong attack. He pushes over here, and I think this is just a distraction. It looks like JG isn't falling for it. He is able to snipe the Nexus, but at what cost? What's going to happen here? Oh, feedbacks on those medevacs is fantastic. Another no escape. Oh my goodness. This medevac is so low. We lost so many units over there. At the same time, can he get another Nexus? It does not appear as though he can with these zones coming in to point the probes. A very good decision. Now he's unloading here, and he shouldn't do this with his medevac this low. And there goes the medevac, and now all the Marines will go down with a little bit of damage done. Definitely was not worth it. There's another medevac there, and that was a very dangerous pickup. Not quite sure I like the idea to drop in the main. He didn't get any damage done, lost a medevac. He's constantly having to replenish those medevacs. And when you're building medevacs, you're not building Vikings, because he did lose a huge chunk here. And he's going to try to pick up some probes, you know, not a bad maneuver. With a blink there, and he is going to get the medevac. When the other one pick up, he should be able to take out the stalkers, but again, the medevac isn't worth it. Over here, a little bit of the zealot run by, no big deal. Lots of things going on in this game. And here now, finally, Marauders will be picked off. Pretty good positioning there behind the minerals, and then he moves so the zealots can get us around. And this is going into the main base, and there's just not a lot there. Not quite sure he's having a ton of hurt units here, and this could be a good snipe. Get that Templar Archive. Oh, it looks like it may be a very good decision. May make me eat those words, and he does. Pulls it down. It's going to help him a lot in the late game, and we have 3-1 in terms of upgrades for a Protoss player. For Terran player, he is already on 3-3, and these ghosts, which have been popping up little by little, tons of ghosts there. That is 15 of them. Yes, 15. I wanted to be sure so I didn't look like an idiot on my cast of this game. And he is scanning all over the place, trying to figure out where that army's at, and now he knows 3 scans went down. He really wants to know where that army is. And here we go. In terms of High Templar, we're going to have 12 High Templar versus 15 Ghosts. They are bunched up right now, the entire army. Some potential EMPs on that could be absolutely devastating. And there he is running those. Oh, and if only... No, Azamato, here he comes in. Oh, the Ghost are a great time. He gets all the High Templar. Every single High Templar. Every single one goes down at the first of the Argonauts. Now have to see, oh, the Vikings going to town on the Colossus. There's no 5 seconds left. Did he get those Argonauts down? He lands the Vikings. Very smart move. And there's a missed storm and a pretty good storm, but he has all of the medevacs here. And I think this may be the beginning of the end for JG. He's got 100 supply. Oh, and he's going to take down this Nexus, no problem. And here there are just some zealots coming in, but JG just simply cannot replenish. There is a parade push. Here we go. We got some Vikings coming in. 6 more ghosts on the way. I don't know what JG can hope to do against this. I think that is the end. Those EMPs were phenomenal. Every single High Templar, you know, that's partially JG's fault for keeping him so bunched up, especially when the scan was on his army. That was really the key feature there. When your opponent scans your army, you never want to clump those things up. They can run in. He kind of went for the flank with the ghosts. Very, very good maneuver. I'll probably go back over that battle at the end because that seems to be the key feature here. As it looks like Azamato is maxed out again. A huge chunk of army still at home. He needs to pull that down with his forces. He can easily do it. Easily take out the rest of JG's forces. He's going to attempt to come up here, decides better of it. And he did do a little zealot run by over here, but that's just not going to be worth it. The Marines will easily clean that up. And he's still got the forces kind of in the middle of the map. But at this point, it's an economic checkmate. JG's completely mined out in the main base. He only has just 1 base operating. Oh, and pretty good force field. He's making a run at it. But, you know, I would like to just go home, regroup your army, and then attack. You're attacking a partial army. Really not a good idea right now. You know, the corruption of JG is devastated. Oh, and more good force fields, no pickups. Azamato just needs to leave and regroup his army so that he can actually kill this force. Meanwhile, this base is getting picked off little by little, and he just cannot lose things like medevacs at this point. They're much too valuable. You definitely don't want to do that. But I mean, look at the army supply. This whole army, look at that. 17 ghosts. Yeah, I think that would have changed the tide of that battle just a little bit. Didn't even lift off his command center. At this point, it is pretty much GG has really no hope. And look at that mule land. Oh my goodness. So many mules. They are going to repair that right back up. And his mineral intake is going to spike dramatically. He's still trying to harass here. He's going to try to come across. I don't like JG being out on the map right now. This is a terrible idea. He's trying to get something done. This game's pretty much already over. Azamato wisely takes out that pylon. He's just going to get out of here. Tons of fuel wasted. At this point, again, does not matter. Look at this army. Absolutely going to be devastating. He's got the scan down. He should push in. There's no reason this game should go on any longer. A-move that army and you will win 9 times out of 10. Save some amazing force fields. But right now he's just allowing JG to just get a little bit more army supply. He's dodging those scans here. He's coming in and Azamato's going to push across and this will be the end. I don't believe that JG has any hope of holding this. No High Templar, etc. Not really the tech, no the production. We're just going to watch the beginning and the end, and we're going to watch these ghosts. We'll see what he can do in terms of more EMPs. Look at that, he's got a scan, so those hallucinated colossi simply aren't going to do anything. And we'll see EMPs here. EMPs, nothing going down it. There it is, just a nightmare. Cavalcade of EMPs. Everything melts down, and there will be GG coming up to stage any moment now. And there it is. Game will end. Azamato did a pretty good job there, but the key mistake, I'm going to go back to it. Let's see if I can find it on the little tiny mini map here. Big engagement at the front door. I believe this is going to be it. Somewhere right around this time. And this is already after some damage was done. Let me back up just a touch more. And I believe this hopefully should be it. Otherwise I am just rapidly guessing at where things are going to be at. Yes, this is right where I want it. So right here. Pause for just a second. Look at this. Scan is going down. He can see everything. He knows exactly where your High Templar are moving, and he's going to move them directly over, and they're all in a big chunk. Look at that clump. 1 EMP. We're going to analyze how many EMPs it actually took him to take that down. The ghosts are coming in here. He does see them. Protoss has no idea. And here we go. We're going to slow it down on a regular speed here. And here come. Look at this. 1 EMP. Boom. Every single High Templar. 1 EMP. No longer has, I think one of them has enough for a storm. Yes, one of them, maybe 2. I can't quite click on it accurately, but that was all she wrote. And then just more EMPs to everything. Got every single, he's got this 1 High Templar that escaped, but all the shields are gone on the Colossi, the Zealots, everything. That was really the big mistake, because this army right here can easily take these Zealots. And then from here, Nightmare with this High Templar. If he didn't have that, he got any storms down, it could have been a completely different battle, but as it was, Azamato prevails, and that will do it for this cast, ladies and gentlemen. I really enjoy this whole CastIt thing. Feel free to go to the Reddit thread, leave comments for me, always looking for ways to get better. So with that, I will bid you guys a good night.